Welcome to Cars, Shops, and Collections. How cool is that? The Raiders practice facility. So today we're gonna go see Dan. Dan and I exchanged text messages. I never met him in person before. All I know, he's got a warehouse of, as I was told, there are a bunch of gems inside his warehouse. Multiple cars, so I'm excited to meet Dan in person and see his cars for the first time. But here's something that can be real interesting, and Lance doesn't even know this, is Dan told me last night via text, he's all set for the shoot, but there's one thing. Him and his wife were expecting a baby, and that baby was due a couple days ago. So he said, come on out here, we'll shoot the cars, but at a moment's notice, he might have to go to the hospital to help his wife to deliver a baby. It's gonna be an interesting one tonight, to say the least. So let's go find Dan and his collection of cars. This is a good sign right here that we're in for a treat. Nice cars tonight. Old BMWs. He's got. I think Dan's got some money. Dan. Hey man, how's it going? Good. Nice to meet you, brother. How's it going, man? Nice setup, man. This is great.
Hey, how you doing? My name is Dan Kouretas from Kouretas Entertainment, Lucky's Lounge, big car guy out here in Vegas.
So behind this door, this is the, I don't know what we're walking into.
I think you're gonna like what you see back here.
You're
gonna like what you see. It's a pretty different kind of collection out here.
Oh, I'm excited.
You ready?
Let's
go.
All right,
Let's go some fun. I'm gonna show you all sorts of stuff.
Oh, baby! Wow! Is this a Lagonda?
This is a Lagonda.
Holy smokes! How do you have this?
It's a 1986 Series 3 Lagonda. Only 75 in the world ever made.
Yes.
There's about 30 left in existence because they're so difficult to maintain and keep on the road. There's an old saying, you want to have two of them just to keep one driving.
You have two of them?
No, you don't have two of these now. I actually had two. I had to pull for parts to make this one.
Did you really?
I did. There's only about 3 people in the country that can work on these.
This,
so,
I mean, this is elegance right here.
This is
elegance.
This is probably one of the best in the world.
I love how long it is. And it's a heavy car?
It's a very heavy car. I'll tell you what, when I told my wife I bought an Aston Martin, she was really excited. And she goes, oh, when it gets delivered, can I drive it? I said, well, you may want to see it first. And this came off the truck. She wasn't too impressed. I think it's beautiful. I think it's beautiful. She didn't share the same sentiment, that's for sure.
Now, for those, if anyone watched Dynasty, I believe this was in the intro of Dynasty.
Yes, it was.
Pulling out in the intro of Dynasty.
At the time, it was the most expensive 4-door. It's supposed to compete with Rolls-Royce, Bentley. This was it. This was supposed to take over everything.
Is it open?
It's open.
Here, come on around here.
It flopped miserably. It flopped. If you look, like you have the sunroof on the back. Also, there's not much room back there. Doors don't open up very wide. But this was known for all the electronics. It was so ahead of its time.
It looks
from
like
1986.
Like the cockpit of an airplane. So
absolutely does. Everything was made with all the buttons, all the switches, everything using cathode ray vacuum tubes, old TV screens. You can smell all the chemicals from that Corinthian leather. Still, you know.
Yeah, the thick,
35, 40 years
seats.
later, you can still smell it. And if you look here, that's as wide as the door goes. They couldn't figure out what to do with these seats here, so they added this little piece of leather to try to make it a little more elegant.
You see this down here? To fill the gap, they just put
extra padding in there? To fill in the gap,
there?
to put it in there, yep. You have 2 sides here. If we pull over the gas tank, you can fill it up from either side.
No way.
No matter what side the gas pump's on.
It just all goes to
the all goes the same, the exact same tank.
That is convenience. That is a convenience factor.
Now that was probably the best idea this whole car had.
Really?
Was that?
The wheels just looks like almost like a presidential car. Like
absolutely, that was the goal. Actually, in Singapore, Malaysia, those places, this was the presidential car. This was it. In fact, that was when we were first spotted by my dad, was in Singapore. He's the one that got me turned on to these cars. He saw one in the 90s. He kept telling me he saw the craziest Aston Martin he ever saw. I mean, it had all these buttons and all these screens. And then we found one at Bear Jackson about 18 years ago. About 18 years ago. He said, that's the car. And so I made sure I told him before he passed away, one day I'm gonna get one of these.
And you got one, right?
I got the best one made.
It is gorgeous too. I mean, I wasn't expecting to see this. And long, and then the wedge too, kind of the wedge.
It's a wedge shape. It's supposed to be like an origami piece of paper. You see all the headlights, you see it real thin here and real long. And the biggest problem with these is it's all one piece of metal. If you look at the sides here, same piece as that metal over there. It goes from here all the way up, all the way down, all around the back to that side. You get in a car accident with this thing, kiss the whole frame goodbye.
Oh, wow.
This whole thing is gone.
Yeah.
So this is all one big piece.
Is this a pop-up light?
Pop-up lights.
Pop-up lights?
Yep. It's got dual headlights on each side, plus it's got all the headlights down here.
Did you paint it, or is it?
This was Mercedes Gray. It's been bare metal painted back to the original paint color. It's called Mercedes Gray.
Now you got a baby on the way. With
I got a baby on the way.
Drive this when they turn 16?
My wife, I still can't get her in here. I got here once with her. She smelled like leather throughout. Like 2 weeks the house smelled like leather. She said no more. I had to keep it here in the warehouse. Not allowed to bring that home. Yeah.
We could spend. This is rare, and this is
cool. This is my favorite
really
car.
is.
This one's going to be here for a long, long time.
Yeah, that's a collector's item right
It
there.
is.
All right, Metro International.
International Metro van, 57.
This was like the workman's truck back then.
This is a really cool story. This one here was at the Air Force, and supposedly spent some time over at Area 51. You can actually see a bit of the 5 and 1 with the stars here. All this has already been reviewed. But you can see some of the old stuff here. Some of the old stuff, you look inside the plaques for the soldiers, where to sit. You have a lot of Air Force plaques, a lot of military things in here.
Oh yeah, come up here, Lance, get a shot of it.
Kept all those. And then we fully redid the roof, did the leather seats, reupholstered, new leather seating, new engine, got a Coyote engine V8 in here, fully bagged on AccuAir.
No, but look at the roof though. So all these posters came inside the.
So no, we put all that stuff in, and then also, but all the stuff you're gonna see here, you'll see like if you're sitting there with plaques, all this stuff is from the military, the electrical charging. This was it. This was how they transported back then.
I mean, this was the workman's truck too.
One right there.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
This
thing was it.
Yeah, it really was.
Actually taking it to a few shows, and we're doing really well with it. It's a lot of fun. The kids like this one. I bring this home.
This is cool.
Everybody wants to ride around in it. It's a lot of fun.
But do you think too, like maybe back in the 50s and 60s, the milkman?
They all had these trucks.
This was it.
That was it. Those were big cargo vans.
This was it.
It's a lot of fun. And I'll tell you, they just keep going up and up in value. These are becoming really, really collectible right now.
Yeah, they're hard to find.
They are.
Okay.
It's another one of my cars my wife can't quite figure out. Yeah.
Yeah, honey, we're going to dinner tonight.
Yeah, she's not too excited when I'm coming home with those ones.
All right. 2 for 2. How, you're a man of wealth here. How did you start collecting cars like this?
I've always loved cars.
Yeah.
Always, since I was a little kid. I remember seeing, I must have been 10 years old, seeing a Lamborghini Countach in the parking lot of a grocery store. And I saw that, and it just blew me away. It was the coolest thing I'd ever seen. And literally from that day, that was it.
That was it, huh?
Cars for me. I love them.
Trucks too.
Trucks too. I'm getting more into trucks, more into classics. I was always into exotics. But then you kind of run out of exotics. There's only so many that you're gonna get or afford. So I started going with classics and really think these are cool. This is a 55 Chevy C10. I just got this last week.
At Barrett Jackson?
At Barrett Jackson, this one. And that BMW.
You were a bidder at Barrett Jackson?
I was a bidder at Barrett Jackson.
Can we come with you next year?
Yeah, you can. Come to January in Arizona.
Let's go.
That's a lot of fun.
We'll
that's a good time.
You give me your bidding paddle.
We go every year.
Okay, so this one,
This is a 55 Chevy C10.
All right.
It's got an LS swap in it. This is a nice big engine. I bought this one as a Resto Mod for my wife to drive. It's got air conditioning, automatic.
Come around and see inside.
It's got all the creature comforts in this one here. This is a nice car for her to drive.
So it's got everything inside.
Everything for her. Just put it in drive and go.
Has she driven it?
She has driven it. Yeah, she drove it home from the auction house.
Oh, did she?
She did.
And all.
She loved it. We made it. Yeah, we made it.
Yeah, it looks great inside.
Yeah.
Do you know who did the build on this?
I do not know who did the build on this one. And actually, the way I bought this was I was already home after the auction. I had bought some other cars. I was home and I started watching it on TV. And I figured out what the hell, this cars are going for good prices.
Yeah.
So I just started bidding. I got that one, I got this one. Didn't even see these on the floor. I didn't even see these things until 3 days later when I picked them up. I paid for them.
Wow.
I just kind of went for it. But yeah, like you see the paint on this is great, you know. We come in here, we paint correct them all, we ceramic coat them all. I just try to get them to look as nice as possible, and then.
But this was from Missouri tags here.
Yeah, and I'll probably run this one back in January in Arizona. I'll probably send a couple of these back down.
Send it down there?
That's the fun of them, right? You buy them, you drive them, sell them back down there, and go on to something else.
The Bronco. Tell me more.
That's a 69 Bronco right there. Coyote 5.0, the old Mustang 5.0 engines in it. It's just a great truck. There's a full rotisserie restoration on this thing. It's just an easy, great Bronco, right? Everybody likes this guy.
Yeah, that's gorgeous inside that, man.
Yeah. So like this one here is just a good old work truck that we're gonna, take the top off, have some fun with the kids, and go out to the mountains. And
But this is one you also got just a couple weeks ago at Barrett
just
Jackson.
got a couple weeks ago at
You're
Barrett
sitting there
Jackson.
online, just
Yep.
watching it cruising across. And
I said, that looks pretty cool, and bought it. Yeah. I start bidding on stuff, and sometimes I'm like, maybe, hopefully somebody will outbid me, and they don't. I say, all right, well, then I bought it. Yeah.
He's online at Barrett Jackson buying cars. I went home that night and bought a pair of headphones on Amazon. I was pretty excited about that.
So I figured, what's the worst that can happen, right? There's at least
sell it
somebody else.
again.
There's at least one other person out there that's going to pay about as much as I was, so it can't be that bad of a deal.
Oh, okay. So we're what, 4 for 4 in my mind?
4 for 4. Okay.
Number 5.
1988 BMW M3, probably the most collectible BMW on the market right now. Everybody wants this car.
Why does everyone want
There's
this car?
about 2 cars. There's about 2 of these right now in Vegas. There's a green one and there's this one. They're just really collectible. Those that are in the BMW market, they just started skyrocketing probably about a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, going through the roof. Everybody wants the old 80s cars, 90s cars. This has kind of fallen into that. For a while it was all the Fast and Furious cars, and then those guys now want the older stuff.
How long have you had this then?
I bought it 2 weeks ago.
You bought this at
I
Barrett
bought
too?
this Barrett Jackson too. Yeah.
And were you in the market for this?
I was not in the market, but I saw this one. Yes, I saw this one, and I knew that they probably didn't have an idea about this one. So I bought this on Thursday, the first day of the auction.
Yeah.
Good thing I did, because Friday and Saturday I got a lot of attention, but I'd already gotten it. So
Can you buy at Barrett on Thursday and sell it on Saturday?
no,
No.
you got to buy it because you pay for them all on Sunday and Monday.
Oh, yeah. And then the green one over here?
There's another 318. So this whole era is becoming really collectible. Wagons, manual wagons, people love. They love the wagons. Nobody ever orders them. Nobody ever orders wagons. They still make them today. It's the craziest thing. Nobody ever orders them, but man, everybody wants them on the used market.
It's true. You don't how many station wagons?
Exactly.
do you see?
They just don't see them, right? This one came out of California about 4 weeks ago. It's got manual in there. The guys I have in here, 93 quarts, they'll go and get this guy fixed up. They help me out with all my cars. They kind of trade off. They do all the cars. They get to take them to car shows. They put their banners on them, shows their work. It's a good deal they got.
Man.
They're great guys.
Dan, this is awesome, buddy. Any chance we can go for a ride in one of them?
We can go for a ride in one of them. Is there anything in particular? Anyone you want?
That little sedan there in the back.
I knew you were going to say the
little
Lagonda,
luxury sedan in
the
the
one
back.
that's way back there,
What's
huh?
way back? Hey, we have plenty of people, drivers, who move the cars
We
out of the
do.
way.
We got guys that drive them out of the way. Is that the one you want to drive?
If we can, please.
Let's go drive the Lagonda.
All
Let's
right,
have some
man.
fun.
Let's do it. Dan just pulled the car out. And what did you say to me?
I said, you're going to drive it.
I get to drive it?
You absolutely
Are you
get to
sure?
drive it. Absolutely.
All right, man.
Don't crash it, but just drive it. That's what they're here for.
Okay, all right.
Let's go have
this
some
is
fun.
exciting. Lance, why don't you jump behind Dan and we'll do it, man. This is a treat.
Woo! All right.
Wow. Bang your head back there.
Now you know why this car didn't sell too well.
All right,
Compared to
now,
Rolls Royce and
does
Bentley.
the seat move up?
Seat moves up.
And this is 1986
Yeah.
technology.
This is. Those screens were just so far ahead of its time.
That's very 1986
Yep.
Video game action
Yep.
right there.
And they break like crazy. They cost.
Which is my seat up?
This one, these one. There's windows and these are seats.
Okay.
So you got fuel panels here. It's just all different kind of car. No glove box.
All right. Windows up.
Windows over here. That's for your mirrors.
These are mirrors.
Yep.
Left fuel, right fuel to pop it open,
Yep.
and then just put it in
Driving
drive.
gear. So you'll see it. There's neutral
Uh-huh.
and drives right there.
And here we go. I love the speedometer too.
I know, it's pretty cool.
Which way?
Go left.
Go left. Oh, and the smell of this thing too.
Oh, it's amazing. You're gonna smell that for the next 2 weeks at your house.
Oh, this is nice.
I'll tell you, it is comfortable. I've taken this thing down to the strip. It is comfortable.
Yeah, you get people looking.
Oh
too,
yeah,
right?
everybody can't figure out. They can't figure out if it's nice.
Take a left or
it's-
right?
Yeah, you go left.
Left.
Or if it's a piece of junk, they just can't figure out. They know it's something different.
They look at it and
They do. And those that know, yeah, they
Uh-huh.
know. They take pictures and videos and they ask about it, which is a lot of fun because you just don't see these anywhere.
so you're the second owner. What did this go for in 1986?
86. The owner I got it from paid $186,000.
Ooh, in 86.
Bought it brand new.
Have you done the
I'm
conversion?
gonna go straight down here.
Straight,
Yep.
straight into the
And then you
building?
go around one of these. Yep.
Okay, loop around to the right.
And so I did the conversion on Google. It was about $410,000 in today's money.
Oh wow.
Yep. So it's a lot of money, but as you see, it didn't really work out too well. Like I said, to compete with Rolls-Royce and Bentley, the guy took a risk. They took a risk because they were starting to go bankrupt, the Aston Martin, and this was going to be the car that brought him back. Unfortunately, it pretty much was the nail in the coffin. They had to go get some new investors and stuff like that. They had to change course because this didn't work out as planned.
Because this is Gen 3, 86 to 87?
Series 3.
Series 3.
Yep, 86, 86, 87, and part of 88. Again, because they're all handmade, they had 75 of these.
Handmade.
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 Handmade. Everything's
Wood
handmade.
grain interior.
Yep.
Wood grain.
Everything's been
shifter
fully
there.
restored in this car. Fully restored. All the wood, all the leather, restoration, full complete on the car. Bare metal paint. This thing is as new as you can get.
AC too.
AC. Cars like this, like I said, they cost a fortune to maintain because they're handmade. Unfortunately, cars that are on assembly lines these days, they're just built so much better. But I think that's what gives the character in this car.
Oh, there's such character in this car.
There's 4 series. Series 1 was from the 70s. It's a nice car. Series 3 is the most collectible because of the buttons and the screens and just kind of the wackiness of it.
Yeah,
right?
just the way the
This
buttons
is
are right in the front
complete,
here.
total 80s luxury. That's exactly what this car is all about.
How
80s
is it back
luxury.
there, Lance? Is it comfortable?
It's spacious. It's low.
It's low. Yep.
Comfortable seats too.
Yeah. I mean, it's like you're sitting at home.
Was this the radio that came with it?
This was the radio that came with it.
Cassette player in 86?
86. We just cannot seem to get this. The one thing we cannot get working on this thing. We have tried everything.
But this is the original.
That's
That's
the original.
pretty cool.
That is the original.
Does it pop out?
It pops out. This
That
thing
was
here,
the anti-theft device in 86.
That was it. Like I said, they had every modern technology. They took a big chance with this car. Unfortunately, it didn't work out, but at least they had the balls to try it.
How fast did you add up to?
About 85. Anything
85.
above that, I just kind of don't want to push it.
Uh-huh.
This car's about cruising.
This
A lot of
is,
other
man.
cars for speed, but yeah, this one's about cruising around.
And I love the sunroof in the go right.
Yeah, go right.
I love the sunroof in the back.
Yeah. Like I said, this is like when you talk about 80s, you talk about the Countaches, right? You talk about the Ferraris, you talk about the Aston Martins, you can go, yeah, go here. This is what it's all about. Just people took chances back then. People built crazy cars. I think that's what's super cool.
And this
about
is like 1980s, like gluttonous, over the
Yep,
top.
this is what it is. Yep.
Here we are back home.
See, and then the other Rolls Royces.
And that's your daily driver
That's
right
the
there?
daily driver right there.
Man, how do I become you? Dan, thank you, my friend.
Absolutely,
that was awesome,
man.
buddy.
Absolutely.
That was a treat. And one down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more to go.
Yeah, if you got time tonight, let's have some fun.
All right. Woo, that was fun, man.
Yeah, I appreciate
that
it,
was
man.
good, buddy. If you want your car, shop, or collection featured on the show, then shoot us an email at carshopsandcollections@gmail.com. That's carshopsandcollections@gmail.com. And thanks for watching, and be sure and subscribe so you don't miss any future episodes of Cars, Shops, and Collections.